Did you hear about Travis Scott's Astroworld Festival on November 5th? Well, if you didn't, that's probably a good thing. The head of Travis Scott, which is the entrance for where the festival takes place each year, and the Ferris wheel behind it, are shown to make it look like a fun event and inviting to all ages. However, it turned out to be one of the deadliest concerts in history. The tunnel and other props were used to symbolize what it was like to get an amusement park taken away from kids as so-called light, which was used to convey fear and negative feelings. The architectural design and layout of the Astroworld Festival contributed to the tragedy that happened that left 10 concertgoers dead. 7 of the victims ranged from 14 to 27 years old, Mayor Sylvester Turner said during a Saturday afternoon press conference. One victim's age could not be determined. Travis Scott is a 30-year-old hip-hop singer and songwriter from Houston, Texas, who gained fame off his hit song Antidote in 2015. He has been dating Kylie Jenner since 2017 and has a daughter named Stormy Webster, who is 3, with her, and they are currently expecting another child. He signed his first major record album with Epic Records in 2012 and is now one of the highest-paid rappers in the world. Astroworld is a music festival that takes place in Houston, Texas at the NRG Park near where Six Flags Astroworld was before it was taken down in 2005. The amusement park was torn down to be able to provide more room for apartment space, so Scott wanted his album and festival to show what it was like to take an amusement park away from kids. The festival took place at NRG Park's outdoor spaces, which is asphalt or concrete lots with fenced-in areas for stages. Outside of Astroworld was a large replica head of Travis Scott that lit up, with retro words that said Astroworld that also lit up, and a Ferris wheel in the background. On stage was a tunnel with an eye at the end, which was used to represent what it's like on the other side, that had fire flames coming up in the front of it. In the 2019 Astroworld Festival, there were 50,000 attendees, and for the 2021 festival, 100,000 tickets were sold for the 2-day festival. According to Rafael Lemature, a spokesperson for Harris County Judge Lena Hidalgo, he said the maximum capacity for the space that Astroworld took place at is 240,000 people. However, that capacity does not account for exits, safety aisles, concessions, or restrooms. There were 2 stages being utilized at first, but once Travis Scott came out, only one stage was used, which potentially contributed to the tragedy. According to Dennis Romero at NBC News, often large music festivals will use alternate stages and exhibits to draw at least some fans away from the major headliners. The main cause of the 10 deaths is still unclear, but from what has been gathered, it is fair to assume that the people had nowhere to go and were crushed to death. According to So Kim at Newsweek, authorities were said to be looking into a series of cardiac arrests that happened during the incident. Here I will show you a video of what mapped out the night of Astroworld.
3:30 a.m., a concert worker told the New York Times an estimated 1,000 people were already in line waiting for the gates to open. That's the main entrance highlighted here. 10 a.m., the gates opened and concertgoers rushed through, some jumping over barricades. The crowds grew quickly as the hours passed. This is what it looked like from the air on Friday afternoon. Aerial video from Friday night shows a massive crowd at the concert. A medical plan obtained by the New York Times shows the concert's medical provider called for a main medical tent with 2 doctors, 6 nurses, 2 paramedics, and 9 EMTs. By 8:15 p.m., the medical staff was overwhelmed. Then the crowd surge worsened. Before 9 p.m., a countdown timer began, about 30 minutes before Travis Scott's scheduled performance on the Chills stage at NRG Park. An ICU nurse told our partners at CNN that people were compressed up against each other, pushing forward and backward. Houston Fire Chief Samuel Pena said the crowd surged from the sides, not front to back. 9:30 p.m. The music stopped as an ambulance made its way through the crowd after the first reports of people getting hurt in the crowd. 9:38 p.m., a mass casualty event was declared. Concertgoers said Scott paused the show at least 3 times to ask for help for those in the crowd, but the concert kept going. Around 10:10 p.m., the performance was officially stopped. Emergency medical crews had to make their way through the crowd to get to patients. Fire Chief Pena said the exits weren't blocked, but there were so many people in attendance, those tightly packed near the stage couldn't get out.
As you see from the video, at 3:30 a.m., people started crowding around the gates. And then people at 10 a.m. started entering the festival. After that, the crowd just densely grew and to a point where nobody could move and there was nowhere to go. Not only was there not enough space for the number of attendees that were there, but there were also not many exit points, water stations, or aisles set up for security or medical personnel. Looking at this map here, you see that there's one narrow aisle down the middle, that there's 2 stages, one in the front middle and one to the left a little bit, but Travis Scott only used the middle one. And then you see that there are about 4 bathrooms and 4 water stations, which definitely is not enough for 50,000 attendees. According to Jacob Hickey, who had attended over 50 music festivals since the age of 12, said he was able to immediately recognize safety hazards in the layout at Astroworld. Instead of having seating or any type of organizational plan, everyone was supposed to stand at the festival, which led to something known as a crowd crush to occur. A crowd crush or surge is when many people are densely packed in together, might be blocked in by barriers or fencing, and have nowhere to go. When a crowd surges, the force can be strong enough to bend still. It can also hit people from 2 directions, one from the rear of the crowd pushing forward, and another from the front of the crowd trying to escape. If people have fallen, causing a pileup, pressure can even come from above. Victims' lungs are caught in the middle, according to Briscoe in 2021. Paul Wethermeyer, a concert safety consultant, said that a seat might take up 6 square feet of space. A packed event such as Astroworld might only allow for 2 square feet of room per person. Sadly, not the first time a crowd crush has happened at a large music festival, leaving many people dead. The Who concert on December 3, 1979, at Cincinnati's Riverfront Coliseum had a crowd surge occur when the doors were opened that left 11 people dead and a couple dozen people sent to the hospital. Rachel Treisman at NPR said hundreds of fans had gathered outside the plaza early for first-come, first-served festival seating. When only a few doors were open, the crowd swelled and pushed, creating a fatal crush. Due to poor layout and poor policing, over 100 people were killed in 1989 at Hillsborough Stadium, where Liverpool and Nottingham Forest were supposed to play in a semi-final match. Here, I will show you the video of what happened at that match.
It occurred as thousands of Liverpool fans massed outside Hillsborough's Leppings Lane end. The antiquated turnstiles at the ground meant admission was slow. To speed up entry to the ground and alleviate the crush outside, police ordered Gate C opened. This resulted in hundreds of fans rushing into the already full pens 3 and 4, situated directly behind the goal. The influx of fans caused severe crushing in the 2 pens, forcing fans to climb over the fences and up to the upper level to try and escape.
As you see in the video, just like at the Astroworld Festival, many people crowded around the entrance. And then once they were let in, there was not enough room in either of the pens for all of the people, so they tried to go to the top and escape from the bottom, which was overcrowded, which is very similar to what happened at the Astroworld Festival. Again, almost the same thing happened at the Roskilde Festival in Roskilde, Denmark on June 30th, 2000, where Pearl Jam was performing. Within an hour, the area directly in front of Johansson had turned into a rock and roll hell. 8 young men, ages 17 to 26, suffocated to death in the mosh pit as Pearl Jam performed. A 9th man died in a hospital 5 days later, according to David Frick in 2000. According to Randall Roberts at LA Times, the Who, Pearl Jam, and Travis Scott tragedies all share a similar trait, which is so-called festival seating, which again is first-come, first-served approach to ticketing. It replaces reserved seats or any seats at all in favor of a shoulder-to-shoulder general admission experience. The head of Travis Scott, which is the entrance for where the festival takes place each year, and the Ferris wheel, are shown to make it look like a fun event and inviting to all ages. However, it turned out to be one of the deadliest concerts in history. The tunnel and other props were used to symbolize what it was like to take an amusement park away from kids, which was used to convey fear and negative feelings. Overall, the rapper Travis Scott, the 10 people who died, and the families of those who died and those who didn't die but were injured or experienced a horrible time were all hurt by what took place at Astroworld on November 5th, 2021. The Astroworld Festival at NRG Park Stadium was not set up with proper precautions and proper chaining, which led to the tragedy that happened. Thank you.